So for the Week 3 forum, we're going to talk about how you can write an original paper and how you can avoid using too many sources in your paper. Remember that when you write a paper, only 20% of your paper should be from other sources, and 80% of your paper should be your original thought. So how do you write an original paper that's not filled with too many sources? How do you ensure that you're not simply regurgitating someone else's ideas? Well, this lecture will answer those questions. You're going to learn how to insert just the right amount of sources for your paper. So there are a few steps you can take to ensure your writing reflects your own ideas. Number 1, understand the topic. Gain a thorough understanding of the subject matter by researching from multiple reliable sources. This will help you develop your own understanding and perspective on the topic. Take notes while researching. Jot down key points and ideas that resonate with you. Use your own words to summarize and paraphrase the information rather than directly copying the text. Analyze and reflect. After gathering information, take time to analyze and reflect on what you've learned. Consider how the information aligns with your existing experiences and knowledge. This will help you to form your own perspective on the topic. Use critical thinking. When expressing your ideas, apply critical thinking to evaluate the information and arguments you encountered. Question assumptions. Identify logical fallacies and consider alternative viewpoints. This will help you develop a unique stance on the subject. Inject personal experiences. Incorporate your personal experiences and examples to share your ideas. Sharing anecdotes or real-life situations can make your writing more authentic and distinctively yours. And yes, there is a way to write about your own life and still use third-person case. I'll go over that later. Practice self-expression. Develop your own writing style and voice by practicing writing regularly. Experiment with different sentence structures, vocabulary, and tone. Over time, you'll become more confident in expressing your ideas in your unique style. Seek feedback. Share your writing with others and ask for their feedback. Their input can help you identify ideas where your writing may still resemble someone else's ideas. Revise and refine your work based on the feedback you receive. And by all means, reach out to me if you are having trouble with your paper. Remember, the process of developing your own ideas and writing style is ongoing. With practice and conscious effort, you can gradually enhance your ability to express your thoughts in a distinctive and original manner. So to repeat, conduct research. Before writing, make sure to conduct research thoroughly on your topic. This will not only help you understand the subject matter, but also give you a broad perspective on the ideas and arguments already presented. Take notes. Organize your thoughts. Once you have a clear understanding of the topic, organize your thoughts into an outline or mind map. This will help you create a logical structure for your writing. Write in your own voice. As you write, try to use your own words and phrases and avoid directly copying text from your sources. Use your notes as a reference, but write the content in your own words. Special note, if you're writing in your own words, avoid using slang and avoid cliches, and write out your contractions. Use citations. When referencing ideas or quotes from other sources, make sure to properly cite them using APA to avoid plagiarism. How do you blend source material with your own thought in a research paper? Blending source material with your own original thought in a research paper requires a thoughtful approach to integration. Here are some steps to help you achieve a balanced and effective blend. Number 1, understand the source material. Begin by thoroughly reading and understanding the source material you intend to incorporate into your paper. Take notes on the main idea. Develop your own perspective. Before integrating the source material, take time to develop your own perspective on the topic. Consider your own analysis, insights, and opinions based on the research you have conducted. Use proper citations. When you include information from your sources, make sure to cite them properly using APA. This will give credit to the researcher and allow readers to locate your sources for further reference. Paraphrase and summarize. Instead of directly quoting large chunks of text, practice summarizing the ideas from your sources. This involves putting the information into your own words while retaining the core meaning. Be careful not to distort the original intent. Provide context and analysis. When introducing source material, provide context and analysis to help your readers understand the relevance of the material. Use direct quotes selectively. While paraphrasing is often preferred, there may be instances where direct quotes are necessary to capture the original author's precise wording or convey a powerful statement. In such cases, use quotation marks and cite the source correctly. Critically engage with the material. Don't simply present the ideas from your sources. Critically engage them by offering your own analysis, evaluation, and critique. Discuss how the source material aligns with or challenges your own perspective. Balance your sources. Ensure that your research paper incorporates a balanced range of perspectives by drawing from multiple sources. This demonstrates you have considered different viewpoints and strengthens the credibility of your argument. Remember, the goal is to blend your own thought with the source material in a way that supports and enhances your argument. By properly integrating, citing, and analyzing the sources, you can create a well-rounded research paper that showcases both your understanding of the topic and your engagement with existing scholarship. So how do we do this integration? We use pie structure. So pie structure stands for point, illustration, explanation. The point is the main idea or topic sentence of the paragraph. It states the central argument or claim that you want to make. The point should be clear and concise, providing a roadmap for the rest of the paragraph. Illustration, so I stands for illustration. The illustration provides evidence, examples, or supporting details to back up the point. It helps to substantiate and clarify the main idea by providing specific instances, data, quotation, or anecdotes. So illustrations usually are in-text citation. So you have your point, that's P, then you have your one in-text citation of less than 3 lines, then E stands for explanation of that in-text citation in 5 sentences. So this explanation in 5 sentences is the analysis or interpretation of the illustration or of the in-text citation. It explains the significance of the evidence provided and demonstrates how it connects back to the main point. The explanation should delve deeper into the evidence, draw out its implications, and highlight its relevance to the overall argument. By following pie structure, so that means that you use only one in-text citation per paragraph. So if you use only one in-text citation per paragraph, that means that you're going to have your 80% original thought and only 20% is going to be from other sources. So when you use pie structure, this ensures that you have your own paper, put down your own thoughts. And this structure helps to create logical and persuasive paragraphs that effectively communicate your ideas to the reader. Now, I taught pie structure in my ENGL 101 class, but here it is again for those of you who are not in my ENGL 101 class. When we use pie structure, we use only one in-text citation per paragraph. so we do not overwhelm the reader with too many statistics. And using pie structure ensures that you are not regurgitating someone else's material, since only one out of three sentences is your in-text citation, and then the rest of your other 5 sentences is your own stuff. So here are the main points. So P stands for main point from the thesis. Illustration, I, stands for the in-text citation of less than 3 lines. E is explanation of that in-text citation in 5 sentences. So here's an example of a pie structure. So you have P, which is the main point from the thesis. The use of renewable energy sources is crucial for combating climate change and reducing our dependence on fossil fuels. I, so here you have your in-text citation. According to a study conducted by Smith and Johnson, 2022, solar energy has emerged as a prominent alternative to traditional electricity generation methods. That's it, so one in-text citation. Then E is the explanation of what that in-text citation means. Solar energy offers numerous benefits, making it a viable solution for our energy needs. Firstly, it is a clean and renewable source of energy, emitting 0 greenhouse gases during operation. This reduces the carbon footprint and helps mitigate the harmful effects of climate change. Additionally, solar energy is abundant and widely available, harnessing the sun's rays, which are an inexhaustible resource. This ensures a sustainable energy supply for future generations. The only mistake in this whole paragraph is the first person case our. So I just have to get rid of that, and this makes a perfect body paragraph. So you could follow pie structure for all 3 of your body paragraphs. Here's how your body paragraph will look in your paper. You indent 5 spaces, the first line, and then you double space, okay? And you double space by selecting your text and then press Control 2. That's how you double space something. The use of renewable energy sources is crucial for combating climate change and reducing our dependence on fossil fuel. So that's P for the main point from your thesis. Then I for the in-text citation. According to a study conducted by Smith and Johnson, 2022, solar energy has emerged as a prominent alternative to traditional electricity generation methods. Now you have your 5 sentences that explain your in-text citation. Solar energy offers numerous benefits, making it a viable energy solution for America's energy needs. So see, I replaced our with America to make it third-person case. Firstly, solar energy is a clean and renewable source of energy, emitting 0 greenhouse gases during operation. This reduces the human, see, I also made this third-person case, carbon footprint, and helps mitigate the harmful effects of climate change. Additionally, solar energy is abundant and widely available, harnessing the sun's rays, which are an inexhaustible resource. This ensures a sustainable energy supply for future generations. And that's it for your body paragraph. So this could be one body paragraph. And multiply this 3 times and you finish your paper, okay? So then how do we introduce? How can the reader tell that you're about to introduce an in-text citation? So there are many ways to introduce your APA in-text citation into a body paragraph. So instead of just saying, according to Smith, all the time, these are known as signal phrases. In other words, a signal phrase signals to the reader that a APA in-text citation is about to start. So there are different ways in which you can write signal phrases instead of just saying according to. You could do the standby, according to Johnson, 2019. You could also, and then all of these are alternatives to saying according to Smith, 2022. So you can say Smith and Brown, 2020, argue that. In a study conducted by Peterson and al., When you have an al, that means it's more than 3 authors. As noted by Jones, 2017. In their research, Lee and Chen, 2021, found that, according to the National Institute of Health, Smith suggests, in a recent article, Johnson states that, as reported by Thompson, according to a survey conducted by Johnson and Smith. So these signal phrases help identify the source of the information and give credit to the original authors or researchers. It is important to follow APA guidelines for in-text citations and provide the full reference in the reference list at the end of the document. And instead of always saying, Dr. Smith states all the time, you could say Dr. Smith argues, acknowledges, asserts, claims, comments, compares, concludes, contends, demonstrates, explains, highlights, observes, proposes, suggests. So remember to use these signal phrase verbs in conjunction with appropriate in-text citations, including the author's last name and publication year. Additionally, it's important to consult APA guidelines for proper formatting and citation. What is the difference between a paraphrase quote and a direct quote? So there are two kinds of quotes. A direct quote is an exact word-per-word reproduction of a passage or statement from a source enclosed in quotation marks. It is used when you want to preserve the original wording of the author, emphasize a specific point, or provide evidence for your argument. And also a direct quote is used for any kind of number or statistics. So it is important to accurately cite the source. So when you have a direct quote, that is exactly what the source is. Then paraphrase quote is when you restate someone else's ideas or information in your own words while still maintaining the original meaning. Paraphrasing involves thoroughly understanding the source material and then expressing it using different language and sentence structure. Paraphrases are used to explain concepts, provide context, or integrate information smoothly into your own writing. And even if you paraphrase the quote, you still have to cite it by putting in the author and the date, but you don't need quotation marks and you don't need a page number. Summarizing a source involves condensing the main ideas, arguments, or findings of a larger piece of writing into a shorter, more concise form. When summarizing, you aim to capture the essential points without including excessive details. Summarizing requires identifying the most important information, removing unnecessary examples or supporting details, and presenting a concise overview of the source's content. Like with paraphrasing, summarizing also requires proper citation to credit the original author. So when you summarize, you need to have the author and the date. And when you paraphrase, you also need the author and the date. So when both paraphrasing and summarizing, it is important to avoid plagiarism by ensuring that you are not simply copying the original author's work. Instead, focus on expressing the ideas in your own words while still crediting the source appropriately through citation. And so here I think I went over the differences between summary and a paraphrase. So in conclusion, APA is used so that you can avoid plagiarism, and that you have two kinds of sources of quotations, direct quote and a paraphrase quote. And in order to make sure that you are not regurgitating someone else's ideas, you have to use pie structure, which means that P stands for the main point, I stands for the in-text citation, and E stands for the explanation of that in-text citation. So this answers the question for the Week 3 forum: how do I make sure I'm not regurgitating someone else's ideas? And then the short answer, use pie structure. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me anytime.